Here in this video we will discuss about the important questions about the single phase motors. So what is single phase motor? Single phase motors has single phase stator winding and rotor windings. What are different types of single phase motors? It is two types of induction type and synchronous type. What is needed to produce uniform rotating field in single phase motors? To equal magnitude magnetic fields 90 degrees in time as well as space distributed. What is needed to make single phase motor self-starting, pulsating or rotating field? To have single phase motor self-starting, we need uniform rotating fields. What is a double field revolving field theory in single phase motors? In single phase motors, pulsating magnetic field is produced due to a single phase winding, stator winding. This pulsating field can be resolved in two rotating fields if of equal magnitude but rotating in opposite direction. These fields have same frequency as of initial pulsating fields. As these rotating fields produces equal and opposite torque on rotor, so rotor remain in standstill condition. But if any means rotor is given slight rotation in any direction, it starts rotating in that direction. As the resultant torque in the direction becomes more. This is called double field revolving theory. What are different types of single phase induction motors? These are split phase, capacitor start and split phase motors, capacitor start, capacitor run, permanent capacitor motor and steady pole motor. What are different types of single phase synchronous motors? Hysteresis motor and reluctance motors. What is hysteresis motor? It is a synchronous motor. It has single phase stator with permanent capacitor auxiliary winding to produce uniform rotating field, or we can have three phase stator to produce rotating field and unslotted smooth rotor. Rotor outer ring is made up of special magnetic material and inner part is of non-magnetic material. Outer part material should have large hysteresis loop. As part of working concept, the stator produces the rotating magnetic field that cut the rotor and hence produces the magnetic field in it. Due to hysteresis, the rotor field lags behind the stator field. This phase difference produces a torque in the rotor. The phase difference depends on the rotor magnetic properties. At starting or till the rotor achieves the synchronous speed, there is one more torque due to eddy current losses in the rotor. But this torque disappears at the synchronous speed and only synchronous torque present. What is rotor material of hysteresis material motor? Magnetic material having very large hysteresis loop, that is cobalt steel etc. This is the outer ring of the rotor. What is material of inner core of the hysteresis motor? It is non-magnetic material like aluminum etc. What is full load speed of hysteresis motor? Hysteresis motor always runs on its synchronous speed. What is advantage of hysteresis motor? Very low noise and smooth running. What are some special applications of hysteresis motor? Tape recorders, electric clock and other timing devices. What is single phase reluctance motor? It is single phase synchronous motor. It has single phase stator winding with auxiliary winding to produce rotating field. Its rotor is similar to squirrel cage rotor with some teeth removed at appropriate places to two salient pole rotor to form a salient pole rotors. Due to this rotor construction, there are two types of torque developed here: induction torque as well as the reluctance torque. Reluctance torque developed due to the concept that the rotor will align itself to the minimum reluctance position with respect to the synchronously rotating magnetic field. When the rotor reaches close to synchronous speed, stator auxiliary winding got disconnected and later rotor is pulled in synchronism to stator field due to reluctance torque. At synchronous speed, the reluctance induction torque disappear and only reluctance torque present. Here there is a limitation to max torque. Till about 200% of full load torque, rotor remain in synchronism with the stator field, but if the load torque is further increased, The rotor loses synchronism but continue to run due to the induction torque till max about 500% of full load torque. What is advantage of reluctance motor? Simple rugged construction, low cost and easy maintenance. What is the application of reluctance motor? Used in constant speed applications like signaling devices, recorder, electric clocks, etc. Reluctance motor at which power factor? Reluctance motor runs at which power factor? Due to salient pole, it runs lower power factor. What is the shaded pole single phase motor? It is a single phase motor. It has salient pole stator. Each pole is slotted on the side and copper rings fitted on the smaller side. The small part is called shaded pole. This ring is called usually singleton. Rotor is case type rotor. When the stator is given single phase supply, it produces alternating flux that links the setting coil also, and due to the EMF induced in it, then current also starts flowing in it. This current produces magnetic field opposes the main stator field in the shaded pole. So the stator field in the shaded portion lags behind the stator field in the unshaded portion, and there is some space displacement also. So now we have to time as well as space displacement that is required to condition to produce rotating magnetic field. Due to this stator construction, rotating magnetic field is produced. Due to this rotating field, rotor starts rotating due to induction principle. What is rotating direction of shaded pole motor? It is in the direction of rotating field, that is from unshaded portion to shaded portion. How to reverse the direction of rotation of shaded pole motor? Direction reversal is not possible in this motor. What is the advantage of shaded pole motor? Rugged, very cheap and easy maintenance. What are the applications of shaded pole motor? Built in very small sizes of the order of 40 watt or less, relays or tape recorders, exhaust fans, photocopying machines, hair dryers, etc. What is disadvantages of shaded pole motor? Starting torque is very low, low power factor, low efficiency and more losses. Shaded pole motor runs on synchronous speed. No, as it works on the induction principle and the speed is always less than synchronous speed.